Ladies and gentlemen, Frederick County Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Terry Allman.
We said it was a pep rally, didn't we? Thank you. What an amazing tribute this evening has been to the things about Frederick County Public Schools that make us so very proud. Including our wonderful mascots. You've seen some of the amazing things our teachers and staff will do to make sure that children succeed. You've seen a family who chose to come to Frederick County because they knew we would do whatever it took to make their son's dreams come true. And you've seen what happens when a community rallies around one of their own to provide that care that makes us so very special. But those are just a few of the stories about what makes Frederick County so very, very special and our school system so very strong. You heard Senator Young tell us that public education is what makes America great. Well, I'm going to go one further, and I'm going to tell you that public education is what makes Frederick County great. We're here tonight to celebrate public education in Frederick County and all that it means, because this is a celebration of the promise of public education. It's a celebration of what we've accomplished, but it's also a celebration of what is yet to come and what we're going to do in order to move forward. The community has three key expectations for us in Frederick County Public Schools. They want to see results. They want to know that we are giving them a good return on their investment. And finally, they need to trust that we are going to continue to make the strategic investments that will move our school system and our county forward. So let's talk a little bit about results. Achievement matters, and FCPS delivers. The community has told me that that's very important to them, and we have a lot to be proud of in what our schools and our students have accomplished. Did you realize that Frederick County Public Schools is the #1 school system in the state that has been ranked #1 in the nation? It is not by chance that we've achieved that accomplishment. It comes from hard work, comes from commitment and vision and strategy. Year after year, we've seen our students outperform their peers on state and national tests, like the SAT and the AP exams. Our schools have been listed on 3 of America's best lists, and every year we have seen all 10 of our high schools, all 10, listed on the Washington Post National Challenge Index. We have the lowest dropout rate in the state and one of the highest graduation rates. Our students are excelling not only in academics, but in the arts, music, theater, athletics, and you saw evidence of that tonight. Frederick County does so much for so many. We touch every family in this community. As Senator Young says, we drive economic development because it's quality schools that attract businesses and bring new residents to our county. It's quality schools that train the workforce of the future. As I've talked with community members, that's something that I've heard them say, that they're counting on us to build a workforce for the future, for tomorrow, for tomorrow's jobs. And we are. 99% of more than 1,000 employers in our county told us on a survey that our FCPS students met or exceeded the levels of skills they needed in their business. But these demands and expectations are changing. Technology is changing. And we need to make sure, and we are making sure, that our students are ready for the jobs of tomorrow. What's even more impressive about the results we have achieved is the fact that we have achieved them facing some incredible challenges. And it's those challenges that we've been able to face and those obstacles that we've been able to overcome that truly speak to the excellence in our school system. We have produced those results in a time of incredible growth in our county. In the last decade, we've added over 1,866 students. We've built 9 new schools and added 2 new charter schools to our community. We've seen the demographics in this county change drastically. Today, in our school system, almost 1/4 of our students live in poverty. That's enough students to fill this auditorium 18 times. 18 times. We work with students where more than 1 in 10 face serious learning challenges, and we still achieve. We engage the children of our ever-growing number of families who do not speak English as their first language. In the last decade, we've seen a 900% increase in the number of English language learners in our elementary schools. We've worked to provide expanded opportunities for our highly able learners, from new summer programs like Young Scholars to our cluster program in our middle schools. We deliver results for all of our students, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of their backgrounds, because that is the promise of public education. We overcome challenges to excel, and we're going to continue to do that. But it's not just the results that the people of Frederick County want from us. They demand value in what we do. They want to see a good return on their investment in our schools. And they get it. We squeeze the maximum value out of every dollar that is invested in us. In fact, if we were a Fortune 500 company, you would do very well to invest in us, because our results are always in the top quartile in the state, while our investment is always in the bottom quartile. In Maryland, Frederick County Public Schools ranks 20 out of 24 in what we pay per pupil. We rank 22 out of 24 in what we pay a starting teacher. And we rank 24 out of 24, dead last, in our central administration. We have consistently been recognized as being in the top tier for return on investment in a public school system. We are beyond lean. We are unmatched in what we deliver in value among our peers in the state. And we've been delivering that value on a maintenance of effort budget for the last 3 out of 5 years. And when I say maintenance of effort, what that means is whatever cost per pupil you receive stays the same. That stays the same whether or not there have been inflationary factors, such as rising insurance cost or transportation cost. Maintenance of effort also doesn't help fund the unfunded mandates that we face. And it doesn't always let us keep up with some of the changing needs in the school system. It is a minimal funding level. In our case, maintenance of effort really isn't about maintaining. Because in order to stay within maintenance of effort, FCPS has had to make a lot of cuts to our budget. And maintaining isn't what we want to do for our students. We want to innovate. We want to grow. We want to give them opportunities for the future. We need to step up to some new challenges and some new mandates that are coming our way. An entirely new Common Core curriculum, new online assessments for our students, a new evaluation system for our teachers and our administrators. We've been incredibly successful by the old standards. We want to be #1 by the new standards too. And in order to do that, we're going to have to ramp up. And our neighbors are ramping up. Howard County, Montgomery County, Washington County. If we aren't moving forward, we're falling behind. So at meetings with our community and business leaders, I heard again and again the importance of investing in public education, because that is investing in the future of our community. So let's talk about some of the strategic investments we need to make. As the CEO of the Frederick County Public Schools, one of the most important parts of my job is to develop a responsible budget. A budget that speaks directly to the needs of our students, both now and in the future. The budget that I'm proposing was created in consultation with parents, with teachers and administrators, with our business leaders. They gave us tremendous insights into our future needs, and we listened and we learned from those insights. We received broad input about our priorities for our schools and what role our community believes public education plays and should play in Frederick County. We have listened to all of that input. So what I'm proposing tonight is a responsible budget that delivers on what we heard. I realize that our county, our state, our nation are still feeling the effects of a great recession. The economy is improving, but we're still not where we want to be. So I'm recommending a budget of $547 million, which represents only a 4.6% increase over the budget that we had last year. I need to note that the built-in cost had a significant impact on the development of this budget. So as we worked to build this budget and be responsible, the first thing we had to do was account for those obligatory costs. After taking our obligations into consideration, we proposed very modest increases that focused entirely on the achievement of our students. This budget does not meet all of our needs, but it begins to build a foundation, and it's definitely a start in the right direction. It represents the first in a multi-year strategy, a strategy that's going to keep our students responding and performing at the highest level. It is a very responsible budget, and it invests in our future, and it's based on the 3 priorities that I heard from our community, from our business leaders, from our families. Most of the 4.6% increase I'm proposing focuses on that first priority, the priority for quality teachers and staff. About $11 million in this budget is identified to support quality teachers and staff. That will simply allow us to provide the services and the programs which our students need. Because when we talk about quality teachers and staff, we are really talking about student achievement. That means we want to recruit and retain the most qualified teachers in the state. It means we need to provide additional support to some of our special education programs. It means that we're going to focus more on our middle schools so that we can implement the new curriculum and the new structures that our Board of Education has approved. Our second priority, and one that is definitely something our parents and our community is passionate about, is technology. The increased funds I'm proposing will not necessarily focus on all of our very real and very urgent needs in technology. Therefore, our students and our teachers are very grateful that in this year's budget, our Board of County Commissioners gave us $1.6 million as a one-time allowance to focus exclusively on technology. And with that investment, we are able to provide wireless access in 15 of our 64 schools, an important step in the right direction for the technology needs of our school system. In this proposed budget, we continued for the third consecutive year a line item dedicated to technology replacement, and that was in honoring our Board of Education's commitment to technology, even though that line item is very limited. But even with all of these investments, we're still falling behind when it comes to technology. I often wonder, if you can go into Panera and have wireless, why can't you walk into our public schools and have wireless? So we really need to move technology upgrades and technology equity among our schools forward. But we're going to have to look for ideas, new ways to fund and support those upgrades, new strategies, new ways to stay ahead. Our third priority is about safety and security. The tragic events in Connecticut remind all of us that nothing is more important than the safety of our students. So in this budget, I am proposing that we allocate funds to increase a half-time security position to a full-time position, and that we purchase equipment to enhance the security measures we have in our schools. The Board of County Commissioners has indicated that they will give us $1.6 million again this year in one-time funding to augment technology. I am proposing that the technology we augment with that money will be technology we use for student safety. We currently have antiquated analog radios on all of our school buses. And these old-style radios do not do what we need them to do. So I am proposing that we use that technology money to upgrade all of our school bus radios. So those were the three main priorities that I heard from you. And those are the three areas of focus in our budget: quality teachers and staff, technology, and safety and security. So does this budget accomplish everything I'd like to accomplish? Does it do for our students everything you told me we need to do? No. But it is a reasonable start. And it is a budget that begins to move us away from the status quo. It begins to put us on a sounder strategic footing. Our students are going to be able to achieve great things as long as we empower them to do it. And we are definitely laying the foundation to let Frederick County thrive. Public education is what keeps our community moving forward. We cannot rest on our past accomplishments. We have to continue to excel in the future. In the next few weeks, the Board of Education will be discussing my recommended budget, and they are going to be faced with incredibly difficult choices. They are going to need your input to help them as they make these choices. They could choose to accept my budget exactly as it is, or they could choose to make some adjustments in different areas and different programs. After their discussion, they plan to hold a public hearing on February 6th, and I hope that you can attend that hearing. There will be several ways for you to learn more about the details of my budget and the budget that the board discusses, and we want you to continue to add your voice to this very important conversation. You will be able to find a detailed summary of the budget that I am proposing tonight on our website, www.fcps.org. But I want you to keep in mind that what I am presenting tonight is budget version 1.0. It's really the start of a much longer conversation. The Board of Ed, the Board of County Commissioners, and the community are going to have to work together toward a final budget. As we work through that process, some of the numbers are going to change. Some of the costs haven't been finalized. What our actual allowance will be from the state and the county may be adjusted. But even though those numbers may change, our priorities will not change. The most critical thing at this point is that as we work through this budget process in the weeks and the months ahead, we need you to stay engaged in this conversation. So we're going to ask you to share your feedback and your ideas with us in whatever way works best for you. You can send us an email. You can use our new mobile app. You can even pull out a pen and fill out those comment cards as you leave this evening. We're going to continue to hold town hall meetings like we have in the last couple of weeks. In fact, when you leave this auditorium, you're invited to come over to the cafeteria because I'm going to be there to answer questions you may have, to hear your thoughts on what's being proposed. And if you can't stay with me tonight, that's okay. You can use any of those other vehicles to communicate with us, whatever works best for you, because I am looking forward to continuing this very important conversation with you. Thank you.